Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Racha, Kwadash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharawan Ban Yasharala of the Lions Den Camp, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. Also, salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Kharab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharala, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. Not today. I'll be coming out with a lesson. And I believe the brother Arakah put this in of this camp, put this in the group chat, and it says China's golden veil to make cruise missiles to look like passenger jets for sneak attacks. And to be honest, in the times that we're in, and the war times that we're in, it's a very smart tactic. But nonetheless, the Lord is the one who has done this, who has put it on those Moabites to even come up with that idea. But without further ado, let's continue. It says Chinese scientists claim they can now make cruise missiles appear as passenger jets on enemy radar screens, leaving military foes no time to respond to an incoming missile or incoming attack. And that's one hell of a tactic to make it look like it's an airplane that's gonna whomever the enemies are, wherever the enemies are. Guess what? On their radars, it's gonna look like a regular passenger airplane, which will cause them to not be alarmed and drop their guard. But let's continue. It says the device could change the face of warfare. The South China Morning Post reports. It says called the Golden Veil. The device is attached like an umbrella and reportedly works by altering the missile's radar across, so like the missile's radar cross section to mimic a large aircraft, such as a Boeing 737 or an Airbus A320, to make it look like a big old giant airplane. It says it lets the cruise missile switch between visible and stealth modes during flight. See, the Lord, he mustering up the host. You know, he getting the weapons of his indignation ready. It says it is a part of an ongoing effort by China to build up a wide range of ways that it can penetrate air defense systems and would serve as an effective deterrent against foreign intervention in regional affairs such as Taiwan or the South China Sea, the paper said. Translation, they developing something to bust up Babylon with. Let's continue. It says the Golden Veil was developed by a research team in the northwest China to strengthen the country's capabilities amid a technology race with the U.S., the paper said. It says the device consists of fine gold-plated wires that form a web of complex geometry to reflect radar signals and make the object appear larger. Man, goddamn, that's fire. Literally and figuratively. Since the U.S. is using similar technology on some of its missiles, on some of its missiles, such as the Atom or the ADM 160, MALD, whatever that is, so to make them appear as airplanes on radar screens. But personally, I think China done perfected it that fast because this is the work of Yahweh Hashim Al Shai. This is the stealth military aircraft, such as the F-22 fighter and the B-2 bomber, also carry removable reflectors known as Lundberg lenses to make them visible to civilian aircraft traffic control while hiding their true radar signature. It says electronic warfare has become more complex than ever. New electronic countermeasure equipment and tools are entering service at an unprecedented speed. Zhang Yaili wrote in a paper published in the peer-reviewed Chinese Journal of the Radio Science last month. It says they are changing the face of war, she added. Zhang is an associate professor of radar science with the Northwestern Polytechnical University in Shanxi province. It says what makes the veil different from existing radar reflection technology is its flexibility. According to the team, it can be deployed or folded repeatedly in a way that is similar to an umbrella. So the missile or aircraft can switch between visible and stealth modes at will throughout the flight. So that means you won't be able to shoot it down. Let's continue. It says the veil can also change its shape and size randomly, generating strange patterns to confuse radar operators. It says Zhang's team said their next challenge is to bring the veil to mass production, so it's already in the works. Achieving uniform performance in a large number of products will be difficult unless the manufacturing process can be done mostly by machines. So there you go. The Lord done let them Moabites make a missile look like a Boeing 737 or Airbus, basically a passenger vehicle for flying. So I just got two scriptures and then I'm gonna end it. This is Obadiah, verse 7. It says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him." So once upon a time, China was a ally of America, but since China has joined BRICS, China is no longer an ally. All these other nations that were once allies of America have joined BRICS, and that BRICS is Brazil, if I'm not mistaken, India, Russia, China, and South Sudan or South Africa. That's BRICS, And then here lately, a few other nations have also joined BRICS that were once allies of America. So all the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. These nations that were once confederate with America have now turned against them and formed their own alliance. The ones that were at peace with them have deceived America and have prevailed against America. Now, as you can see, this is something. This is very deceptive, and this is the work of the Lord doing this. It's very deceptive. These Chinese, these Moabites, they done made a whole new missile that can look like a passenger plane, and it can change shape and do whatever it want to do at will. And they're looking to mass produce these to confuse radar operators. That is a very dangerous weapon. But in a time of war, it's also a very smart tactic as well. So just in case they need to sneak attack or they need to deter. But these enemies have prevailed against this place. They that have eat thy bread have laid a wound, and this is a wound unto America. Babylon, whichever one you want to call it. Chaldea, whatever. This is a wound unto this place. And these nations that are coming up with these weapons, there is no understanding in them. They don't care anymore. They're done. It is what it is. Let's continue. I got one more. Let's go to Revelation chapter 9. Because ain't no telling. They making these missiles. More than likely, they're gonna have nuclear payloads. Let's continue. This is Revelation chapter 9, verse 16. And it says, "And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them." It's talking about 200,000 missiles. ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles, with nuclear payloads. Verse 17. And it says, "And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and the smoke out of their mouths, Salakia, and out of their mouths, Salakia, issued fire and smoke and brimstone." Now this is explaining the weapons of the Lord's indignation. This is how John the Revelator explained it in the time that he was in. Says it saw the breastplate. A breastplate. Most time, what are breastplates made of? They're made of metallic material. It says fire and jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the head of lions. This is a parable, meaning the destructive power in these missiles, or these ICBMs, or these ballistic missiles, whichever one you want to call it. Their power is in the head of the missile. That's where the payload is. And it says, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. That's the destructive power, the damage that it can cause, that it will cause. Continuing, it says, and by these were the third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke. So, and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. These weapons that they're developing are going to kill people. And this is all the doing of the Lord. This is His will, and it's going to happen. By what? The brimstone and the smoke and the fire that issued out of the mouths, the front of the missile, the head of the missile, the destructive power. My last point. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. And this is talking about, again, this is talking about the performance, and or i.e. the function, the destructive power of the missiles. That's why I said, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails. These missiles will be shot off. And they use a specific type of fuel, a certain fuel system to project, to be projected to its said target. That's what it means by, for, again, their power is in their mouth, is parabolic, and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents. If you ever seen a missile get shot off, what does it look like from it when it first shot off? It kind of looked like a serpent going up. And it says, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. I mean, again, the destructive power. And the Lord just gave these Moabites a new weapon that can fool enemy radars and can change between being visible and invisible at will, as many times as it wants. Things are getting serious. Things are getting real. Shalom.